So she called me, and then I picked up the phone and I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, Khala, I'm dying. Like,
taking a woman's virginity should never be taken lightly.
Hi, I'm Tony Mack, director, filmmaker, and storyteller. Amongst my peers, the narratives around dating have felt really toxic and negative of late. So I wanted to create a space to have fun, honest, and grounded conversations. It's time to change the story. This is Dating Black.
It's so love. 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 It's so love.
What is the wildest thing you've done when dating?
Wildest?
I was quite scared because the country I was in, I don't think you're allowed to do what we were doing.
When I was younger, like, there's a girl I started speaking to, and do you know what I mean? we were speaking often, just didn't want to speak anymore. You know, back in the days, do you have house phone numbers that you used to call house phones because it was free?
100.
So basically, I blocked her number from like calling me in it. I didn't tell her that, oh, that I don't really like you anymore. Just blocked her number, and then she called my house phone in it. And then my mum picked up.
Oh my days.
So my mum was like, oh, who's speaking? The girl said their name. Can I speak to Shea? So my mum said, oh, so-and-so's on the phone for you, innit? And then I just left the room. And then my mum was like, what? My mum was calling me, innit?
I cheated on day one.
Wow.
Damn. Just volunteered it.
Yeah, I know. Like, he said, will you be my girlfriend? Yeah? Cool, I'll be back.
And I'm done.
Did you
it.
regret it?
Nah, because, yeah, 50-50, innit?
It was good.
Yeah. Like,
He said
Part of the story.
Yeah.
like when I was young, yeah, I wasn't, I don't know, my grips on reality was a bit mad. So I was talking to one girl, whatever, and like, I think I saw a picture, and it gave me the ick. So I was just like, nah, I don't really want to do this no more, sort of thing. But I didn't tell her. So she called me, and then I picked up the phone and I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, Khala, I'm dying. Like, I was basically, I was like, do you know, and then I just stopped talking, yeah? And then I pretended to be my mum, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Hendo's got to go now. Like, he's dying.
Can you reenact the death?
So basically, fam, I remember it like yesterday. I was lying down on my bed, sort of thing, and she was calling me, and I think I'd aired the first call. So I was like, cool, boom. I'm not shook in it. Let me pattern in it. So I picked up the phone, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I remember making my voice very coarse, innit, and very like, I can't really talk right now. Like, I'm dying, sort of thing, innit. Do you know what it is as well, yeah? You know when you're young, yeah? Like, bro, like, saying I'm dying, like, what you dying of? Like, what's the problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's bare details that man missed out, sort of thing, innit? And I just started pretending to be my mum, and I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, he's got to go. I found, listen.
What's so funny about that as well? She definitely knew it was you.
So what was her reaction to your mum as well?
Do you think I gave her time to react? Fam, I locked off the phone, fam. I said, you have to go, fam. I said, listen, I'm sorry. Like, there's no time. I need to spend the last time with my son, so.
Have you guys ever, like, received or sent a read more message or a podcast voice note?
someone's mum left me a voice note once.
Wow.
A voice note?
Yeah.
A long one?
To like 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
My mum was invested.
Cooking me.
What did you do?
Oh.
Cooking me.
Did you deserve it?
Of course.
Oh, you deserved it.
Of course. You can't just fuck my daughter and leave. Like.
Do you know, all I want to know is, like, was she tech savvy? Like, did she, like, press record and then swipe it up to lock it?
No, like, it was...
Or did she hold it?
No, it was a voicemail. Yeah. You know, like...
She left you a
voicemail. She called her mum.
Voicemail was that long.
I've definitely received.
And have you ever sent?
Actually, you know, I've actually sent as well, because sometimes that's the only way you can communicate with some people. They just... And, you know, like, it gets to the point you can't even be asked to talk. You just need to communicate, make sure it's black and white, and fam, it is what it is.
God damn, it's not my proudest moment. It's not my proudest moment.
I've definitely received.
And how do you respond to those?
I don't.
I ain't reading that shit.
You're not reading it?
No, PC, no, I'm just joking.
Nah, but I because we see with the read more messages, there's so many questions to answer. I'm not gonna respond back to them individually. Jump on the phone, we'll have a conversation.
That's the old person
Started speaking Portuguese. I didn't. There's bare parts I didn't understand, but she was cooking me, and I'm pissed because I was scared. Yeah, I deleted it as if that would save me, but then I was like, I want to hear it again. So I called Vodafone. Like, can you send me the voice note back? Yeah, because I wanted it back.
And they sent it?
Nah.
Oh, I was about to say.
This is gone.
Some of them I do listen to. Sometimes I didn't. And I just called.
Okay, you saved yourself by saying I just called.
Yeah, I just called. So it's not like I ignored it. I may not have listened to the actual voice note, but I just called straight away. I was like, what are you trying to send to me? Why don't you just tell me?
Is this an exclusive relationship? Is this dating?
Any situation.
But which one do you want? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, give me dating.
Dating.
Yeah.
That just gets ignored.
Serious dating. Exclusive dating.
Cool, then there's definitely, okay, let's talk about, I'll read it, but we're gonna have to speak to this over the phone because I think for us, we're tone deaf. So I'm tone deaf anyway. So if I'm messaging, it's gonna get read completely differently to what I actually mean. Yeah. So is in my best interest to speak to you over the phone or see you face to face and make that time.
I might have sent 3 10-minute voice notes. Yeah.
3?
Yeah. Do you want to listen to them? No, I'm not going to play them.
No, definitely received.
I've received multiple.
That received one was even.
How do you respond to them?
You don't. No, I'm guessing. You do.
It was detailed, like.
Were they successful?
Detailed. The babe was very apologetic. Very apologetic. And I'm a forgiving person, man. I can't hold grudges. Like, energy for me is like something that's very important. I can't carry around bad energy, so when she hit me up recently, I can't lie, I've been waiting for her to message me. Like, straight away, I was like, yo, like, come through, let's have a chat. Let's be adults, let's hash it out. Because I cared about her, but I am never, ever sending that. What? 30 minutes? That is a podcast. That's 3 shots of tequila, fam. What? That's receipts, Tolly T, no way.
I had one on the flight to Ibiza once, read more, it was mad. I clicked it just to see how long it is. It had like subheadings. Shit was chaptered off.
Wait, the message had subheadings.
She planned it.
She
you know what it is? She wrote that in notes before she put it in the message because she didn't want to press send accidentally.
Yeah. That's the technique. You have to write
it opened to a Word document like read more, wham.
But I'm annoying because I don't even write my sentences in one full thing. One sentence, send. Another sentence, send. Another sentence, send. And it'll go. It'll never be a paragraph.
Okay, but why? What's the difference? You're just gonna send like 40 lines, just separately, but it's not a read more, so that it doesn't.
Do you know what it is as well? Yeah, I find when it comes to those kind of situations, women are very like, but you didn't answer this question.
No, but you didn't though. Why didn't you?
No, it's not that you didn't. You didn't answer it the way that you wanted it to be answered.
No,
exactly. What do you mean? What you didn't though?
Okay, no. If I ask you a question, I'll ask you maybe 4 questions.
All right, give an example. Bring out, because we can't obviously for this set bring out our phone. Bring out our phone where obviously you sent a paragraph.
Or you received.
Or you received the paragraph. So we can have a discussion. Let's have a proper discussion. Are we allowed to bring out our phones?
Yeah.
I don't get paragraphs, so I can't give you that.
Oh, now you don't get paragraphs. You tried to draw me out.
If you got a draft of a message, that's planned violence.
If you see read more, that's just too much, man. It's that or we need to talk. I just ain't got time.
When are you free?
Those are the lines.
Hey, when are you free? It's tense.
If I'm sending you a message, you're getting like spell correct. You're getting everything wrong.
Everything.
You're just getting my emotion. I'm not planning it out. You're just getting it.
Punctuation.
With the podcast voice note, that one I don't even listen to it in the chat. So this is actually crazy that I'm saying this, but I forward it to myself. I'll forward it to myself and I'll listen to it in my own chat. So in your chat, it's still blue.
Okay.
So then it's like, I'm just not listening. That's sometimes. That's if I really care about you. If not, I'm just not listening. Because why the hell are you sending me something 7 minutes long?
Someone got one of the man got 15 minutes one more time.
Oh, that.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. Pick up the phone and call me.
You have to plan it out so that you can get your points across.
I don't want to hear it.
Cohesively. So
The thing is, if
you
you got that many points to give to me, I'm not listening.
It's
Like,
too much.
You should have brought these points up as they happen.
You need to abridge this story and get it right.
Come
Make it
all at
succinct.
once. That's rude. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I feel like it does.
You don't like me.
It's not that I didn't listen. As I said in the beginning, I said sometimes I listen. Sometimes I'm just like, you could have just phoned me and we could have had a conversation. We could have broke it down together.
But those messages are selfish anyway. They're not for me to read.
Okay, what's selfish about them? Because I think that's...
You just want to talk.
whatever,
You just want to talk without being interrupted. But you don't actually want me to read it. You just want to get it off your chest.
I'm a typer, like I'm down for it, but I do like lots of short bullet points.
But you like typing?
Yeah, I don't mind it, you know. I don't mind it. I prefer it over voice notes because sometimes I waffle on.
Wait, I just prefer to just get on the phone and just get over.
Oh no, that you can't beat face to face. Let's talk about it. But sometimes, like you said, you can say something, and if they don't have a high level of like receptive skills, or like they have a certain learning style, you almost need to, this may sound crazy, you almost need to know the learning style of your partner. Because if they're visual, they may need to read something. Because if you speak to them, you can speak to them for like an hour and they're not really taking in what you're saying. But if they got a message in front of them and they've got time to go away, read it and decipher it, then they can actually access it slightly differently. So as far as I'm concerned, you tell me what works for you and then I'll be adaptable.
Communication is very important. So regardless, just as human beings, you just have to respect each other to just be able to communicate. And if as a man you're not ready to communicate with the opposite sex, you shouldn't be even talking to them. Yeah. Because that's just basic human respect. Are you going to air your mother?
Definitely.
No.
So as like successful black men, what type of women were you looking for?
Someone that's willing to grow, and you know, see the world in a different way. I think it's very important that you two have an understanding of where you want to be in life, because I think that's a key fundamental, because some women are just not motivated. Being successful is very uncomfortable. So that's the real conversation we're having. Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Because there's certain days you're not going to get paid, because it's your job, our job, to bring in the money. And not every day you go out to hunt, you're going to get the kill.
Yeah, there's someone out there for everyone, isn't it? And definitely within our community, for sure. Obviously, I know for the women it's a bit different. You know what I mean? Also, the markets are not the same.
High value man.
Yeah, what's the difference? Why is the market not the same?
Just in terms of just choice, isn't it? At the end of the day, if we were being honest, it's like you said, the whole high value man compared to high value women, the more like women become successful, I mean, the harder it becomes to date men. And the more, a lot of men have got bare insecurities and that kind of stuff we talk about in CB, like, in terms of just in themselves, so therefore it affects the type of women they go for. Like, they won't go for a woman that, I don't know, makes more money than them, because they might feel a bit inferior or less than.
Someone that ultimately is comfortable within themselves. I think I'm very attracted to, I guess, confidence. That knows they're the shit.
Do you feel like body image is important when you're dating, like the way your girl looks or the girl, you know?
Yeah, and I think you should always be attracted to your partner.
I'd be lying if I said no, and I'm not going to sit in this chair and lie. It's not like the most important thing, but hey, I'd look at that and gauge whether I'd want to have a conversation with said individual, yeah.
Yeah, I think attraction is dependent on the person as well, and I think sometimes the confidence can add to that attraction. I don't think you have to have certain things. You don't have to have like a flat stomach, or hair has to be a certain way. It's more how you are, how I meet you. That's the real connection, and then how it is. But I do think it's important to like maintain your standards.
Sex isn't important when dating.
Isn't? I disagree. Who said that? Sex, money, communication. That's the three basics of a relationship.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
Sex, money.
Communication first.
I think in any order, but they all have to be in synergy.
Nah, because you don't have sex when we do it.
Oh wait, hold on, because
And but you know what? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me actually. I was about to say, you know what it is. That's you know what it is. So that's what we aspire to do, innit?
It's part of it. Like, if you don't have a level of connection, like intimately, emotionally, spiritually, it's not gonna go as far as you want it to go. So I don't think it's the be all and end all, but it's definitely a contributing factor.
Do you know what it is? I say it's important from a perspective where you need to make sure that you're sexually attracted to the person. Because I think saying that it's not important at all just means that, like, it's just about personality and your relationship with God. That's all I care about. That's what I'm attracted to. Come on, let's be real.
Yes and no. It's not like the most important thing. Like, and I sound like one of them Twitter guys, I'm a sapiosexual, but I like to connect on like a mental level. For me, physical is great, but like, it's fleeting. It comes and it goes, and it's there, you can get it from anyone. Whereas like when you connect on an emotional level, like it's very, very hard to get those connections, those true connections, so.
Would you date someone who's waiting for marriage?
No.
Why is that?
I know I'm not.
I'm interested in having sex. That's what I'm dating.
Why am I coming to corrupt you?
Like,
Taking a woman's virginity should never be taken lightly for a man, and I feel like you have to think about the responsibility that you're taking, you know, because that's them really giving themselves to you. The first time, the first ever experience is going to relate to you. If you're willing to stick it out and be in to death do we part all day long. But if you're not on that, then don't. Let her find a person that is on that with her, basically.
So it's not a big deal?
No,
that's not a big deal.
It's not still.
Some would say that's a preference.
You know, it's funny because that's what, it's very rare for you to hear that, isn't it? It's rare for you to hear that still. And what's annoying is
Especially
that
in this day and age.
Exactly, even when I say it, it's like, he's gassing. He's gassing, because you expect me to be a certain type of way, but I'm just not.
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's not a big deal?
No, because I think you have to respect their journey. Like we said, you treat everyone as an individual, as I said earlier on. So you have to focus on where they're at, and then once if they make that aware to you, you then go in an informed way.
If that's the one thing, and you are the woman of dreams, fuck. Let's get married tomorrow.
But this is the thing. I never dated for marriage. I dated to have sex.
True.
So my whole reason for dating, you're going against it.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So why are we here?
It's important, it's just in the context how you're having it, but it's definitely important. I think when people go and pretend that, yeah, that's not that deep, it's that deep, but it needs to be done in the right context. Now I know that. Before, I would have never said that.
We have to look at each gender's tactics here. 'Cause men be successful in dating and relationships and sex. Women aren't too successful in dating and marriage. So they need to add sex. They need to add sex in there, and it will help them get to what they want. Like,
I don't even know how you got to that equation.
How do you not?
That doesn't make sense, because you
How?
can't say women aren't successful in dating and marriage when you lot are married to women or
Yes,
engaged to
they're
women.
fine.
Are
But it's
women-
the women that are struggling regularly. It seems like they're doing something wrong.
Well, that's because his theory is that you should just be having sex
first.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, well, for me anyway, like in terms of going into it, I'm not thinking about, sex and all of that. You know what I mean? If it happens, it can potentially happen. I don't want it to, it can potentially happen, but I'm not thinking, going into it, I'm not thinking, oh, right, like, is she good at da-da-da-da? That's not really my thing until it gets to, all right, cool, we're married, innit? But in situations, things can happen, innit?
Like, there's just a constant argument about who should, dating overall, who should pay, where we go, how, all of that nonsense. Just cut that one out, because it's clearly not working for a lot of people. Just get straight to the sex. See if you're compatible, and you go from there. Work backwards.
Yeah.
Because the other way clearly hasn't got a lot of people what they want in life. Like,
I don't agree with what he's saying, but there's a science.
Some truth to it,
There's
yeah,
a science
but-
to post-nut clarity that a man is different after he is busting nut.
Back in the day, definitely not. Those are the ones that you just don't even spend your time. That's honest truth. Also for me, I think it's also down to like respect as well, in terms of like, if I'm just being with you just for this, and I'm gonna now take that all away from you just for my own sense of pleasure, it's long, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
like, we're fine. We had sex.
I'm good.
We wasn't too interested in dating for anything else. And we made it. Yeah.
I mean, the woman that I've married, I had sex with her.
Me too.
So, I mean, I've got to the finish line with my whole plan and strategy, so it worked.
You have to be open to the fact that this person that you're with could either be the love of your life or your biggest heartbreak, but you just have to take the risk.
When they're just genuinely trying to be their best selves, that in itself can be quite inspirational for you. Yo. Can you follow on from that?
It's so love. It's so love. It's so love. It's so love. It's so love.